Okay, I think this is bright enough. All right. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sitting in front of this beautiful window, really enjoying my Saturday off, and I would like to talk to you about 3 pros and 3 cons about Taskrabbit, an app that I've been working on since June of 2019. Number 1, first pro is definitely the access of a network of clients that you will have. So you set up what skills that you want to provide, what services you want to provide, and you set whatever your rates are. And then you don't have to go around looking for people. They will just be that middleman to connect you to the people that would want to hire somebody with your skills and your rate. So you don't have to go around knocking on doors, do marketing for yourself. Not necessarily, you can, but they will link you to their network of people that use the app. So that's great. You don't have to do a lot of hunting for clients. And then pro number 2 will definitely be the ability to set your own rates. So you have to be obviously strategic about it, but you have the possibility of earning $50 an hour if you wanted to. I'm obviously not there after doing it for 3 months, based on what kind of skills I have as a handywoman, but you can set your own rates. So how I did it in the beginning, I set my rates pretty low, and when you set up your profile, they will have a guideline of, based on your skill, this is a low rate, you'll most likely get booked, or you'll definitely get booked, or they'll have like a couple of suggested rates, and they'll say these, if you set it at these rates, you'll get booked.
Like very likely to get booked, you're likely to get booked, and then you're less likely to get booked
for higher rates. So they'll kind of have that gauge for you, so you can use that to set your own rates. But as you gain customers and you get reviews from them and ratings from them and you build up your profile, you should set your rates accordingly. It might be that your rates are still this, but if most of your customers or all of your customers love you so much and you have this sparkling profile, you can set your rates higher and you will still get booked for tasks. And then the last pro would be that they facilitate the payment for you. So starting out your own business, or you're doing this as a side hustle, you might be worried about, or doing some kind of similar service on the side, you might not have time to go after your clients and tell them, hey, it's been 2 weeks, you haven't paid me, or follow up with them all the time because they didn't send a check, or their payment didn't go through, or things like that. That will be done by the people that own the app, by the people that work for the app. So they're pretty quick about sending the payment, I think, because most of my clients are very quick about paying them too. But I had one person where they had an issue with the credit card and I didn't get paid from that small job for like 2 weeks, and they sent me an email saying, there was an issue with this person's payment, but we're right on it. And so they did notify me about that. So they will facilitate that payment for you, so you don't have to worry about going after your clients if they did not pay or if their credit card didn't go through. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's get to the real stuff. 3 cons about Taskrabbit from a tasker's point of view. Number 1, they take a 15% cut. I mean, this is pretty standard, I guess, for apps where they act as a middleman for you to be connected to the person, for you to be connected to whether you're the client or whether you're the person giving the service. The business that's facilitating the connection would take a cut, but 15% is a lot. If you're charging $35 an hour, your client's actually gonna have to pay $41 an hour. It gets to be a lot. 15% is a lot in my opinion. So keep that in mind. It's gonna be more expensive for your client, depending on what rate you set. Number 2 con would be not the best customer service. In the beginning, I feel like they were great when I first started in June, but as Maybe because it was during the holidays, I don't know, but I was trying to change my rate with an ongoing task, and so I went on their live chat and waited to speak to somebody. Waited like, I don't know what the queue was, but maybe waited 15-20 minutes to talk to the first person. They told me one thing. They said you need to have this proof and have the client say okay on the chat thread. So I took a screenshot of that. They have access to that at all times, so they could review that on their end. I did, and then I went back on live chat because I needed to first inconvenience the client to tell him, hey, can you write on the chat thread that you're okay with the rate change. And then he did it for me, and then when I waited another 20 minutes to speak to somebody on live chat, they said, oh, we don't have that policy. He needs to book you completely, delete the task, and do it all over again. I'm like, that's not even what I was told. Now I have to go ask my client again to take me off this initial task and find me again and book me again. So I was told the different information, and looking back now, it happened at the end of December, and it's like such a minuscule thing. Okay, so it's fine. I get the process. Maybe it was written fine print somewhere when I agreed to be on the app, and I should have known. I get it. But the fact that they told me, hey, you misunderstood, when the person that I spoke to initially was incorrect in giving me that information, and I followed their direction and got the information that she requested that I get, and then being told no, she was wrong. Or actually, they didn't say no, she was wrong. She said, I'm sorry, you misunderstood. It's like, no, read the chat that I've had with this person. This is what this person told me. So I don't know why you guys can't go over and change the rate on your end like I have been told. The way that they worded it so that the entire issue was my fault, that I misunderstood something, that I couldn't understand English, was just ridiculous. And then on top of that, I said, you know what, could I speak to your supervisor? Could I speak to somebody else? They're like, well, there's nothing else. Another person's gonna come on and tell you the same thing. And I said, well, I get it, but it's not that I misunderstood. It's I was told the wrong information. So shouldn't someone take responsibility because they told me the wrong information? Like we need to have some kind of compromise, right? Like I thought something I should have known, but then you told me something, so I followed your directions, and you were wrong in telling me your policy, or someone on your hand told me the wrong policy. So we need to reach a compromise rather than just kind of leaving the chat. But that person left the chat. I waited again to speak to somebody else. So I started the live chat with another person again, waited another 20 minutes, and they read the file. They said, oh, I'm sorry this happened to you. So they were a little bit more apologetic, and then they ended up leaving the chat. So I emailed them again, and they said, well, this issue has already been resolved by somebody else. So that email that I sent them after talking to 3 different people, someone had gone back in there and checked that my issue was resolved. So that really rubbed me the wrong way, and it's just an app. So maybe it's not that many people working there. They communicated like, oh, this girl is crazy, let's just clear her issue and let's not even reply to the last email that she sent. Like, that's so unprofessional. I was completely in the wrong, and there was nothing that they've done on their end to provide any incorrect information, then I get that. Like, that's foolish of me. I'm wasting everybody's time. I'm wasting my own frickin' time. But the fact that they disregarded their mistake, and then I tried to contact them again, and they just wiped my issue out of their system without saying anything to me, was completely unprofessional. And that reason alone, I gotta get off this fucking app. My third con is because it is an app and anyone can sign up for it. Anybody can book somebody from it as a client. There is competition. There's a lot of people on here, not only clients but obviously taskers, and they can undercut you and set a much lower rate to gain that customer that would rather pay a lower rate. or you know, there's going to be more qualified people, or they're going to be someone that they would rather book than you, simply because there's so many people to choose from. So that is another con. It's not just like this exclusive thing that you're only a handful of people that's working on there, so you're gonna get booked left and right. So competition is a part of any business, so there is that. But now that it's really picking up and there's a lot of people using it as taskers, I feel like there's way more competition with getting the client that you want. Okay, so that completes 3 pros and 3 cons. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for similar content like this, my vlogs, my dogs, some cooking videos, and
just more of this face. Anyway, thank you for watching. Peace.